Welcome back to the morning show here on RIS News. Ahead of elections into leadership positions in the National Assembly, the ruling All Progressives Congress has been taking steps to put its house in order. Ostensibly, these measures are designed to stave off any chances of a repeat of the circumstances that led to the party's loss of control of both chambers of parliament 4 years ago, immediately after the 2015 general election. In pursuit of this, the APC has decided to exact a commitment of loyalty from its membership across the country by issuing what it calls the loyalty form. Joining us now to throw more light on that and other issues is Lanre Issa-Onilu, the party's National Publicity Secretary. Lanre, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good to see you. Well, Lanre, what is this loyalty form all about? We understand that the APC is also compiling a list of loyal members of the party who are the ones who are likely, to get positions in the National Assembly and also to make it to President Buhari's cabinet. How do you measure loyalty? And what is the form all about?
No, let me clear that quickly. There is nothing like loyalty form. You don't express loyalty on a piece of paper. You demonstrate loyalty, and that is what is there for people to see. And you begin to assess that by trusting your members. There must be trust. So we want to trust our members that they understand that we have a manifesto to implement, and that we all subscribe to that manifesto. And that's what makes us, all of us, members of APC in the first instance. And wherever we find ourselves, whether at the local government, state, or national government, or whether at the National Assembly or in the executive, we all have a common cause to pursue. So that is the key word here. And loyalty is measured by our fidelity to the promise we have made to Nigerians.
Indeed, loyalty is a prerequisite your party has been pushing, especially in the case of leadership for presiding officers for the National Assembly. But let me ask you, does your party not risk, attributes such as decisiveness, competence, capability on the altar of loyalty?
No, loyalty, it's not in the same league with what you have mentioned. Before we even go into the aspect of appointing or nominating somebody, we have done all our assessment based on the best criteria that you think you want in somebody who is going to occupy that office. So you now expect other members to also be part of that process and express loyalty by supporting that. So it is taken for granted that before you even get into the issue of calling for loyalty, you've done what you need to do to ensure that you're putting your best foot forward. So that's what we have done in this case.
Well, when your party talks about loyalty as very important, we assume that there are some disloyal members within the party. And the party has had cause to identify some of these, some disloyal members, including governors, But what is your party doing about these disloyal members? And are you compiling the list of disloyal members? And, what are the steps you are taking to ensure that you don't have a party that is divided between people who are loyal and people who are disloyal?
Yeah, well, we first and foremost, we are not compiling any list. We treat every issue on its individual case scenario. For instance, the issue of National Assembly, we don't have a list of loyal and disloyal members anywhere. What we do have is a situation where every member has an opportunity to come forward to say this is what I want, and then for the party to look at it holistically and take the best interest, take the best step in the interest of the party and in the interest of Nigerians. So whatever struggle that you're going to have as a party member, you ought to do that within the party structure, not outside of it. And whatever decision the party has taken, you abide by it. And when we say party, I want to also emphasize that. When we say party, we do not mean those of us who are in the National Working Committee, or the president, or the vice president, or the national leader of the party. When we say the party, it involves every member of the party because there's a process of consultation, of ensuring that all interests are taken care of, and of ensuring that at the end of the day, we operate by the rules. And at the end of the day, we are loyal, first and foremost, to even the promise we have made to Nigerians. And anything that will allow us or encourage us or empower us to be able to deliver on that, that is what we are all supposed to be loyal to. So, and that shouldn't create a problem. Any member of APC who truly believe in the world view of APC, the progressive view of APC, should have no problem at all identifying with the cause that we are pursuing. So, and the loyalties will flow naturally. But if you see APC just as an instrument to get to power, and you don't have any interest in whatever promises we have made, and you don't share our worldview, then that is a problem. So that is the extent to which we see loyalty.
Okay, let me be more specific. 3 of your members who are governors, outgoing governors, well, one of them is still a sitting, he still has a chance. The APC governor in Ogun State, Ibikunle Amosun, the APC governor in Imo State, Rocha Sokorucha, the APC governor in Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu, SAN. We understand that they've been classified as disloyal members and they've been suspended. But at least 1 or 2 of them had said that he's not even aware of any suspension. Where are you at this moment with regard to, whether those 3 governors are loyal or disloyal APC members?
Yeah, well, see, governance, even the issue of corporate governance, when it comes to political party, is also a process. When you discover that a particular member has conducted himself in a way that infringes on the rules of the party, and you apply that same rule to check him, that is normal, and the party should be commended for doing that. If we could do that to governors, it shows that this party has actually risen to the level where Nigerians can begin to say, now we have a political party that is up and doing and rising to its own responsibility. Well, for whatever has happened with the governors, it's part of our internal process. And we continue to talk all the time. It's for somebody to know, okay, I have done something wrong, and my party has taken this step to punish me. And then as a loyal party member, I need to let them know that whatever they thought I did wrong was not intentional, and I do not want to continue along that path. And then we sit down, round table talk, and then we resolve this issue and move forward. So we continue to talk. We are not, suspending a member of the party does not mean the member has lost his rights completely. It's not expulsion. So the party continue to relate with such members. Such members also continue to relate with the party. And we continue to talk until we come to a resolution. And then we move forward from there. But that sends signal to members, no matter what position you have, once you subscribe to any association, you are supposed to abide by the objectives and the principles, that operate within that particular structure. So as we have in APC, we have to be a disciplined party first and foremost, before we can ask our members to also be disciplined. So, and also we have to ensure that everybody knows that if you go outside of what we all have appended our signatures on, that this is what we are going to do, then there will be certain sanctions. And once those sanctions are done in a way that does not suggest injustice, or that some people are better members than the other, then you're going to have eventually a party where members, anybody who comes into the party knows that I don't have a choice, I just have to operate within the party structure.
Okay. Earlier, in one of your responses, you talked about consultations and all interests, taken into consideration when it comes to the presiding officers for the National Assembly. But a lot of people beg to differ, and one of them is Honorable Onyediocha, who is the only female to have indicated interest and declared just yesterday. She says her candidacy presents the president and your party the opportunity to demonstrate inclusiveness. I want to ask, why did your party not think about a female speakership? And secondly, have you finally decided on the zoning of other presiding officers apart from the Senate President and the speakership?
You see, whatever side of the divide you find yourself, there will be very good argument to put forward, wherever you come from. And the argument about gender, the argument about Southeast are fantastic arguments. Nobody is disputing that. But if the other person from the other side also put up his argument, you also find the argument very good for him to push forward his agenda. So by the end of the day, we come down to the round table to say, see, we have a party to run. We have a structure in place, and we must continue in a way that would not distort the harmony, that will not distort the process, that will not distort the movement towards progressing this country from where we met it. So ultimately, there are other factors that come into play when you're taking this kind of decisions. Don't forget that in other climes, in fact, where we copy this from, once you are the leader in the House, the leader of your party caucus in the National Assembly, whether in the House of Representatives or the Senate, you automatically assume the position of speakership or Senate presidency once there's vacancy. It's like that. Even in the parliamentary system of government, if you're the leader of the party, once you form government, you're expected to take that slot of the prime minister. So it's been like that. And so it's not often that you see the leader, House leader or Senate leader, and then somebody from down there come and above him and take the position of the Speaker or the Senate President. But let me also say clearly, that's also the argument to say, if you're taking the Senate President from the North, go to the South. So there are situations where you look at the country as 6 geopolitical zones. There will be that situation where you look at the country as being divided along the North and the South. So it depends on what you are operating with. If you're operating with North-South divide, then you pick somebody from the North, then you go South to pick someone else. And that could come from any of the 3 geopolitical zones in the South, just like in the North as well. So that also is a way to play this game. So it's not often that you have just that straight jacket kind of approach. There are many issues to consider, and there are many ways to relate with the matter.
Lanre, just before the gubernatorial elections in March, you granted an interview in which you said, we are working to end the Saraki dynasty in Kwara State. I mean, you are from Kwara State, I believe. Yes, and as it turned out, the Senate President Bukola Saraki lost the election. He's not returning to the Senate in June. Well, should we be saying congratulations to you? Do you really believe that the Saraki dynasty is truly over in Kwara State politics?
Yeah, well, I will take your congratulatory message, though it's coming late. I've been expecting it. But it's still okay. I told you that, see, I'm from Kwara, and I've been in this since 1993, even before Bukola himself came into politics. And I understand Kwara politics very well. And I said that from 2011, we have been defeating the so-called Bukola Saraki dynasty. But the instrument of coercion, the instrument to twist every other person, were firmly in his hands. And all we wanted was a platform for all of us to engage free and fair. And that platform came in this election. And that's why you didn't hear anybody was slapped or whatever violence during our own election in Kwara State, because nobody had any access to any instrument to coerce the other person. So we had a free and fair election, and that's why whoever is still contesting anything in Kwara State is just wasting his time, because when you see the landslide. But let me be honest. We are not saying that Bukola Saraki is just a non-entity as far as Kwara politics is concerned. No, it has a very formidable structure. But the issue is there have been cracks from 2011. And why they didn't notice it, why there was no adjustment, I cannot talk to that. They only are the people who can explain why they did not adjust, because it was there. And I will also say, I will admit here, that it is not because of whatever strategy we put in place as opposition. It's because the people themselves were tired. Completely. It's almost every Kwara. And that's why the Otoge phenomenon came, and it was, you see an Okada driver going and pressing his horn, saying Otoge. You see taxi driver using his hooting to say Otoge. Everywhere you go, a 5-year-old boy you see, or a 5-year-old child on the street saying Otoge. So it was a phenomenon. And it was what we expected. We knew we would defeat it. And I've been saying this. I said it on this set as well, that we were going to defeat it. But I never knew we were going to uproot the entire structure. I never expected that. So that shows the level of anger, the level of disenchantment, the level of disappointment that the people of Kwara, had against it. And then, so that is past issue now for us. We are moving forward. So we have a job to do. We have the next 4 years to prove that our complaints are not just for nothing, and that we have concrete issues to address.
Okay, thank you very much, Lanre Issa-Onilu, National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress. I think at this point we have also reached a point in this conversation where we should just say to Issa-Onilu Otoge for today, for this morning. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.